Hello everyone, it's that teacher here, and today's lesson is going to be on dividing fractions. Let's start learning. Welcome back to our channel everyone, thank you for tuning into today's lesson. Now the method we need to use in order to successfully divide fractions is quite simple. There are a few steps, but we are going to go through them, and in no time you're going to be able to easily divide your fractions. Let's get straight into it. So our first question here is 2 over 3 divided by 2 over 4. Now in this question, our first fraction, the 2 over 3, stays exactly the same. We don't do anything to it. Our second fraction, the 2 over 4 or 2 quarters, we need to modify slightly. So the first step here is we need to flip our numerator and our denominator. So I've put the little symbol here so you have a visual representation of the first step, the flip, okay? So once we flip it, rewrite your question here as 2 over 3 divided by 4 over 2. So we have flipped our numerator with our denominator. So once we have done that, we move into the second step of our process, which is now we need to multiply the numerators together from both of our fractions here, and then the denominator. So 2 times 4, you just go across. That's why I put that box there so it's easily visible. 2 times 4 is 8, and then our denominator is going to be 3 times 2, which is 6. Now you're left with an improper fraction here, which is 8 over 6. Now when you have an improper fraction, if you left this answer exactly how it is on the screen, in high school or some schools around the world, you might only get half of the marks because it isn't fully simplified. So when you're dealing with fractions, it's important to always simplify. So we need to think, we're going to turn this into a mixed numeral or a mixed number. The first thing we need to do is think, how many 6s can fit evenly into 8? Well, that's going to be 1 6 can fit evenly into 8. We have used 6 of the 8 pieces that we had, which means we have 2 remainders. Now your remainders would be as a fraction just like this, 2 over 6. However, we can actually simplify this further by finding the highest common factor between the 2 and the 6, which is the largest number that is evenly divided into both numbers without any remainders. So 1, of course, is going to work with any whole number, but if we divide both our numerator and our denominator by 2, we can further simplify our fraction here to 1/3. So our answer here is going to be 1 and 1/3. It's a really simple process. I'm going to show you 2 more times so that we can consolidate our understanding. Now, the question here is 3 over 4 divided by 1 over 2 or 1/2. Remember, step 1, flip your fraction, your second fraction. The first fraction stays the same. We need to flip our second fraction. So we rewrite our new fraction here as 2 over 1. So we have 3 over 4 divided by 2 over 1 now. So once we've done that, step 2, we are multiplying our numerators together and our denominators together. So 3 times 2 is going to be 6, and 4 times 1 is going to be 4. Your improper fraction here is 4 over 6. Now remember, always simplify as much as possible. So this isn't fully simplified, this is an improper fraction. We need to convert this into a mixed numeral. So how many 4s can fit evenly into 6? Because our numerator is how many pieces or parts we have. We have 6 parts, and the denominator, it has been broken into 4 parts, but we have 6. So 1 4 can fit evenly into 6. Now, if we have used 4 out of the 6 parts, we have 2 remainders. Now, our remainders, like I said previously, they are turned into a fraction using the same denominator. Now, if you wrote this, it isn't fully simplified because you can divide both your numerator and your denominator again by 2, the highest common factor of the number 2 and 4, which will give you your fully simplified fraction, 1 and 1/2, or 1 1/2, okay? So that is example 2. Example 3, our final example, is 3 over 5 divided by 4 over 5. Step 1, flip your second fraction. So now our 5 becomes our numerator and the 4 becomes your denominator. So once you have successfully flipped your second fraction and you've rewritten it somewhere neat in your book so that you don't have any confusions, probably don't do the symbol like I did. I'm just showing you that so you have a visual representation. But in your book, just rewrite the fraction exactly like I have on the screen. It's much cleaner and will eliminate any simple mistake that you may make. So now that we have our new fraction here, we need to multiply our numerators together and we need to multiply our denominators together. So 3 times 5 is going to be 15 and 5 times 4 is going to be 20. Now this is the first time we don't have an improper fraction, which means our numerator is not larger than our denominator. So we can simply go ahead and find the highest common factor between both the numbers 15 and 20. What's the largest number that both our numerator and our denominator can be divided into evenly? So 15 and 20 are, let's see, 1 of course, 5. Let's do our 5 times tables. 5, 10, 15. Well, that works. And does it fit in 20? Let's find out. 5, 10, 15, 20. It does. So we divide both our numerator and our denominator by 5, which will give us our simplified fraction 3/4 or 3/4. So hopefully with that explanation, you are able to successfully divide fractions quite easily. I actually tested this exact PowerPoint on my class today, and they found it quite easy to understand. So here are some questions for you to do at home. So get a piece of paper, get a pen, work through these questions at home. I'm about to show you the answers, so pause the screen here. The reason I put questions for you is so that you can practice what I just explained to you at home, okay? So here are your questions. I'm about to show you the answers. If you've made it this far into the video, I really appreciate all your support and watching my videos. Even any little views that I get, I'm loving it. I'm gonna keep the content coming and try and cover everything maths, and then one day we'll move into writing and all the different key learning areas that students need to learn. So with that said, here are your answers to the fraction question. I know that if you followed the simple steps in order to successfully divide fractions, you would have got 4 out of 4 and you are ready to go. You now know how to divide fractions. Thank you so much for watching today's lesson. We'll see you in the next lesson. It's that teacher. Thank you for watching.